We'll start our journey through the different non-chord tones by talking about stepwise non-chord tones. The following non-chord tones are the ones that are approached and resolved by step. These are our passing tones, abbreviated P or PT, and our neighbor tones, abbreviated N or NT. Passing tones are approached and left by step in the same direction. So they're either going upwards or downwards. They typically fill in the gap between two notes, which may be non-chord tones or chord tones or non-chord tones themselves. If it occurs on a strong beat, they are referred to as accented passing tones. And when they're chromatic, they're known as chromatic passing tones. Let's take a look at this example here. You'll notice that there are several notes that don't conform to the C major chord in this passage. So, what we do to identify them is we would circle them and we'd put a P above it for passing tones. We know that it's a passing tone because it is approached by step, going from G to A, and it's left by step, going from A to B. That B is also a passing tone. It's not part of a C major chord, and it continues upwards to C. And here we have an accented passing tone on the beat, on a strong beat, in fact. So we have we mark it with a P, and we circle it so that we know it's not part of the chord. Neighbor tones will move away from a chord by step, and then will return to the same note of the chord by step in the opposite direction. If the note moves upwards, it is known as an upper neighbor tone. And if it moves downwards first, it's known as a lower neighbor tone. Let's take a look at this example here. Here, this A is not part of a G major chord. So we know it's a non-chord tone. It is not part of the chord. We circle it and observe that it goes up by step and then back down by step. It is a neighbor to the original note. So the fact that it went up first means that it's an upper neighbor tone. Now you don't have to always analyze it UNT or LNT for upper neighbor tone and lower neighbor tone. You can just analyze it as NT or even just N in some cases. And so next we have this E, which is not part of the D major chord. And so we know that that is a non-chord tone. And in this case it goes down first, so it's a lower neighbor. Sometimes you'll have the neighbor note occurring on a strong beat, in which case it is known as an accented neighbor tone.